My name's Sarah Spurling and I'm the Project Officer with Litter Free Coast and Sea.
And so what do you do here in Swanage?
I've been employed to do a project specifically in Swanage called Love Our Beach, and it is mainly aimed at helping maintain and improve the bathing water quality that we've got here.
We all love our beach, but how do you actually achieve that?
And there's lots of things that people might do without realising that can actually have an impact. One of the main messages is clear sewers equals clean seas. And one of the things that blocks up sewers, which is the main part of our campaign, is fats, oils and greases. So from your kitchen, fats and greases is in food, quite a lot of food. And when you're washing up, some of it might go down the sink. Some people might actually pour oil down the sink. So it's just really raising awareness that all of that should be kept out of the drains and recycled instead, and then it should keep the pipes clear and the pipes flowing freely. And the other thing is wet wipes and things like that go down the toilet. They shouldn't go down the toilet, and that can also clog up and build up with fatbergs and things like that.
So what should you do when you're cooking with your oil? You know, when you've finished, what was the best thing to do?
For example, if you've got a frying pan and you've been cooking, you can wipe the grease out with a bit of kitchen towel, for example, and then you can put that in the food waste bin. And you should scrape all the excess food off of your plates and your utensils and your pans and put that in your food waste bin, because we've got really good facility in Dorset for recycling that. And if you have waste cooking oil, you can collect it in the original bottle it came in when it's cooled, and that can be recycled now too. You can just take it to the household recycling centre just up the road in Swanage.
And what are the other things we can think about to try and keep the beach clean?
We can remember to only flush 3 Ps, that's pee, poo and toilet paper. And also remembering about drains on the side of the road, because some of the drains here lead directly onto the beach. So any litter that gathers in those drains will get washed in with the next rains. So just remembering, and cigarette butts is the #1 litter item, and that's commonly dropped on the floor and often in the drains. So just making sure we extinguish them and put them in a portable ashtray, for example, or the bin is the best thing to do with that.
And you've also involved in Sustainable Swanage. This is another campaign.
Yeah, that's come about through our campaign. We've been talking to the town council, businesses, lots of different groups that work in Swanage, and we found that there was so much energy and passion to looking after Swanage, and we just wanted to come together to see if we could join forces and spread the word even further and make it easy and convenient for people to do the right thing when it comes to looking after the beach and the environment. Just make it easy, really, and just be positive approach. And so we set up the steering group in order to become plastic-free Swanage. So that was where we started, but it's led to other projects as well.
So what can businesses here in Swanage do to be more sustainable?
Well, the plastic-free title is actually an award that was set up by Surfers Against Sewage, and the idea of that is to look at single-use plastics. So a lot of people say plastic, is that everything? No, it's just the single-use plastics that are commonly found on the beach. So if you were to do a litter pick here, you might commonly find things like drinking straws, coffee cups, plastic bags, stirrers, cotton buds, tags that you get on, toys, buckets and spades and flip-flops. These are all the things that you commonly find on the beach. So it's about trying to eliminate those, and then they won't end up on the beach. And that's what that campaign is about. And being a coastal town, it's really important for us to try and limit those sorts of things getting on the beach.
But we do need some of those things. So are you saying that we need just alternatives that aren't plastic?
Well, some things we use plastic a bit too freely. We don't value materials or resources, and I think a lot of the time there's a lot of unnecessary materials, a lot of unnecessary plastic and packaging. So if we can cut that down, and where we can't cut it down, sometimes we do need to wrap food up for sort of hygiene reasons and sort of longevity. You want food to last a bit longer. Then you try and recycle it where you can, using recyclable materials and disposing it correctly.
People have talked about paper straws, wooden cutlery. Is that what you're talking about? If
you can't avoid single-use items, then there's a lot of debate about that sort of thing. But I feel it's better you will avoid plastic pollution by using those items. You can't solve every problem with that, but that's what we're looking at here. But the best thing to do is cut waste, and anything used once is waste. So we need to try and cut that down where possible. So that's the first port of call, is to kind of cut it out in the first place. For example, some people have been condiment sachets are one of the things that you find littered quite a lot, and that's very wasteful. But you can find alternatives. Some restaurants have used refillable containers instead, so you avoid the plastic waste.
You're really passionate about this. How have other people responded to your campaign?
Well, I find that a lot of people are passionate about it, and a lot of people want to see change. I mean, a lot of people are more aware about the issues now, but a lot of people feel like, well, what can we do? How can we do something? And does it have an impact? You know, what does my little effort have? And so that's what we're trying to say is these are the things you can do, and these are things you might not have been aware of. So we don't want people to feel guilty or anything like that. It's like, this is what you can do, and look at all these other people doing it. You're not alone. It does have an impact. You know, if we all do it collectively, and it's growing. Everyone's sort of feeling supported by each other doing it, and it's really nice to see. Yeah.
Swanage is a very beautiful place. What do you like about it?
The variety. Yeah, I've got a young family, and we just love going out different places, and it feels like you're on holiday every time you go out because you're somewhere else, and it's just beautiful. Yeah.
What are your favourite bits?
I love the coast path the best. I love looking out to sea and just feeling like there's so much more out there, and I like the space. It's wonderful.
If a visitor came up to you and said, where is it good to have a cup of tea, where would you suggest? Well,
there's loads of lovely, through my project I've been to visit lots of businesses as well, and also the ones I go to in my just living here. But I couldn't recommend one in particular, because there's so many great places to go and have a drink, and there's varieties, isn't there? Pasties, great bakeries, fish and chips. But there's a lot of businesses now that are offering refill schemes for water bottles. So if you're a visitor in town, you want to avoid waste, there are places to go that can help you do that. So you can refill your water bottle along the seafront here, or go to any restaurant that's got a refill sticker in the window. You can even bring your reusable coffee cup on holiday with you and use that there. A lot of people are much more they are receptive to it, and they expect it, a lot of the businesses. So.
And if visitors do bring plastic into the town, what would you ask them to do when they go home?
Well, a common thing that people might say is that we need more bins everywhere. But I think what we're trying to encourage people to do is take the rubbish, if they brought rubbish with them, to take it away with them, because the bins can get we have hundreds of thousands of people coming here, and on busy days, obviously the bins can't be emptied quick enough. So just to take the rubbish home and think carefully about putting things in the bin. If it's like some people put chairs or buckets and spade in there, I think, can that be used again rather than thrown away? And also just, can I take this home to recycle it? So that's what we would suggest.
And Swanage is a very special place.
People appreciate the natural beauty and the environment. We've got wonderful natural environment here with lots of plants and animals that live here, and it's really important to look after that and for the future, so that people can enjoy it just like we are.